For those listening at home, Brian just tried to crumble an Oreo. Not tried, like he did crumble an Oreo, but obviously the half with all the white sticky stuff just got stuck all of his hands, and I just watched it. Yeah. I'm still going to eat it.
I'm going to eat it. It's fine.
I mean, this looks good. Now you've just done the dry cookie.
I figured it out. I'm no one's fool. Hey, you want this?
Well, yeah, yum. Thanks. I'm going to eat the cream half. Thank you. What?
That's what I thought on the drive over.
What?
So later, like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Oreos and Baileys, like instead of milk.
Yeah. Yum.
Right? Isn't that kind of genius?
Yeah. Should we try and use this to heat the Baileys?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Great idea.
All ideas are good ideas, by definition. All right, so...
can I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
When you do this marshmallow Bernie thing...
Yeah.
Is that going to smash the glass?
It might.
Okay, I was just checking.
It might.
Yeah.
See if that even works. That kind of works.
Yeah. What's this? So what?
That's the vanilla syrup, the vanilla
it's my
essence.
job to be walking through. Okay, so Brian has covered the rim with vanilla essence and then coated it in Oreo. Haven't even had a drink yet, and currying it. I'm just really on the savouries. Lining the rim of the glass with Oreo. Is any of that the right vocab?
Yeah, all of it is.
Line the rim.
Rim the edge.
Rim the edge. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rim and edge double. All right, this one's worked a little bit less well.
Yeah, you can have that one. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that part.
Remember,
this is a shot.
Yep.
It's going to be a larger shot than we're used to.
It looks like a full glass, Brian.
Definitely.
Okay, what do you...
Oh, so inside this, I just made this up too. I don't know what this is going to taste like. Creme de cacao, Baileys, and coconut rum.
God, I just love all of those things.
Right?
So great. I'm just loving that... you're gonna put marshmallows on the paper umbrella and then burn the marshmallows without burning the paper umbrella. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you do this, because I wouldn't know how to do that, but you clearly do.
Well, if you've been around,
you wouldn't be doing you wouldn't be doing this if you thought.
Obviously, this is standard. Okay, this is how I'd like to do it.
Oh, cool.
Do it. I have to burn the fucking thing.
Oh my god.
It's fine. It's fine. It's meant to happen. Flaming umbrellas of doom. Did you get it?
Yeah, I did. That looks so fucking cool, though.
It does, actually.
It's a shame about the shaky camera work, but I was kind of panicking. That's amazing.
That's good.
That's so good. That can be our first Instagram post. I don't care.
That's a good one.
I don't care if it's out of context.
Yeah, it's fine. And it'll be better because people have no idea what the fuck they're looking at. There's no reference point at all. Just checking.
Whew, I cannot wait. Yep, we're good. 40 minutes already. This is how it takes so long, because we're not
even going to start yet. I mean, this is just
we're still chatting.
Yeah.
And they've only just started.
We can't start until they start.
I don't know how to do this now. Do I eat this?
Yeah, maybe take one marshmallow. I would say that. Like, take a marshmallow.
Yeah.
That could be more burn.
Barely warm.
Yeah, I know, right?
How is that possible?
What are they made of?
You literally set it on fire.
Should we set the next one on fire a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I was just too freaked out by the burning umbrella. So I blew them out a little earlier. I'm going to do right in front of the computer.
And also aimed at my face too.
All right. So anyway, fire safety. It's important.
I already cut all my hair off, but let's take the eyebrows too.
Fire safety, kids. Terrifying.
Amazing. Oh, you've got a real knack for it now.
so now we just eat the marshmallow.
Okay, I kept this one just in case. I thought I was supposed to save it.
Oh, really? Yeah. Whatever you want.
Yum. Delicious marshmallow.
Harmonized.
And now just shut it.
But kind of get some of the...
Welcome to Sugar Facts.
Welcome to Sugar Facts, episode 7.
Wow. 7 heaven.
7 heaven. Knocking on 7's door.
On the road to 7.
7 is the magic number.
7 minutes in heaven. That's the real one.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Cheers.
I love it.
So fucking good.
It was sad to drink it so fast.
Yeah, I know.
You know? The whole time I was taking it as a shot, I was like, I
just really want to enjoy this.
I just want to take it slowly.
I can...
Yeah. All right, the vanilla essence is nice.
Right? Let me taste that. Punched up cookies.
Great job, Brad.
A little bit of charred taste to them.
And the glasses didn't smash.
No. Should we smash them?
It would just be the final stage.
Let's start again. We need to let the people know. The reason it's so fucking noisy here is because the bar is located in a sugar factory. Also, unfortunately, for the purposes of recording, there's also a studio on the other side.
Next door.
Yeah, kind of right next door. So that sound that you hear is not the sound of our incompetence.
Yeah, no, not at
It's
all.
the sound. There's nothing we could do about it.
We've already put like layers and layers of egg cartons
So many.
all over the wall.
Yeah, like every time I turn my head to
I'm
the right,
dressed in egg cartons.
She's wearing literally egg cartons. Yeah,
And there's nothing we can do.
there's nothing we can do about it. So that's the sound you're hearing. Apologies.
I just want to make one correction to what you just said.
Yeah.
You said because next door is a studio.
Mm-hmm.
I want to also add that this too is a studio podcast recording.
Thank you for clearing that up. On Tuesdays, it's a studio.
I just don't want it to sound like there's just one studio.
No.
There's so many.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're kind of the real studio.
You know?
Yeah. We're the real studio. These guys might have been here longer.
Yeah.
They might be contributing more to society.
They might have won 100% more awards than we have.
100% more awards. Well, we're 100% award free.
Yeah. And we're proud of it.
We are.
Okay, so
Right.
Brad.
Yeah.
What's your sugar fact for the week?
I've actually got a pretty succinct one. It's not a lot of information. But
so this will be like a short podcast then.
hold on, just let me get it.
Okay, while you do that.
No, I've got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, no. Before you do it. No, before you do, I just have something I really want to talk about.
Okay. Well, then I'm okay. I mean, is it important enough that you felt the need to interrupt me like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Only because I was reading some really interesting stuff. So I got on this like cycle of reading about stuff that used to be legal.
Things that used to be legal.
Legal, yeah. And now it's illegal.
Illegal.
But at a time that it was legal.
Okay, so you want to talk about something that used to be legal.
Correct.
It's
and
no longer
it's now no longer legal.
Okay.
So let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
Let me tell you a story about one of the most significant innovations of the early 20th century. What do you think it is, Brad?
It's got to be the steam engine.
Close, but no cigar. It's the post office, the American post office, deciding to open the parcel post. So basically, in the early 20th century, the post office began shipping large parcels and packages through the mail.
Yeah.
So through the 19th century, private delivery companies had flourished, but the advent of the post office's parcel post on 1 January 1913 expanded the reach of mail order companies to American rural communities.
Now, when you say parcel,
like packages.
Yeah.
So they only did like letters.
Not just an envelope.
Yeah. So they used to do letters. And so basically now mail order products and stuff.
Right.
Before, like if you had mail order products, you could only go like your customers would be people with money, basically.
Right.
And then the post office was like, let's make a public service, and they decided.
Oh, so anyone could send big packages.
Yeah.
Was there a distance limitation?
No, you just send it all through the US,
Really?
the States. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's almost like that was a massive kick for consumerism as well, right? So now American rural communities and millions of Americans suddenly had access to all kinds of goods and services.
Yeah.
It also led to some instances of parents sending their children through the mail.
What?
That's what this story
Really?
is about. Yeah.
Wait.
Sending their children through the mail.
But wait, what year are we talking about?
1913.
1913.
Was
so
it 13?
Like,
Yeah, 1913.
Like a horse?
They had trains.
Oh, trains.
They had trains as well.
Yeah.
So just a few weeks after the parcel post began,
Yeah.
an Ohio couple named Jesse and Matilda Beagle mailed their 8-month son James to his grandmother, who lived a few miles away in Batavia. Batavia?
I don't know, actually.
It's Ohio. Okay, whatever. So according to the story, baby James was just shy of the 11-pound weight limit for packages sent via parcel post.
It was a baby?
Yeah, it's a baby.
What?
So they just mailed the baby to the grandmother.
Did the people handling the package know there's a baby in there?
Yeah, it's not like wrapped up. But they took the baby.
Oh, it's not in like a box.
No. Well,
With air holes.
I assume it's in some kind of vessel.
Okay.
And his delivery cost his parents only 15 cents in postage.
Damn.
So it was like cheaper than buying the kid.
Yeah, of course.
Train ticket,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they did insure him. They insured the package for $50.
$50. Anything happened.
So sending baby James by post saved them the return train ticket. A few weeks later, the Times published this story. This is quote the story. Mrs. E.H. Staley of this city received her 2-year-old nephew by parcel post today from his grandmother in Stratford, Oklahoma, where he had been left for a visit 3 weeks ago. The boy wore a tag about his neck showing it had cost 18 cents to send him through the mail.
That's funny.
He was transported 25 miles by rural route before reaching the railroad. He rode with the mail clerks, shared his lunch with them, and arrived here in good condition. Another famous case was the mailing of 4-year-old Charlotte via train to her home in Grangeville, Idaho, from her home in Idaho to her grandparents' house about 73 miles away. Her story was so famous that it even became a children's book called Mailing May. Although I did read she was accompanied by her mother's cousin who was working as a clerk for the railway mail service. So that one's a little bit cheating.
Right, yeah.
She did have a chaperone.
I'm still confused by this though. When you say mailing,
they just put a tag around the kid and then handed them over to the post office.
So the guys some people are feeding them, taking them to the bathroom and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But technically they're being mailed.
They're being mailed.
Sent as mail, yeah.
So it wasn't until 1920. So this was going on for 17 years.
Jesus.
And the post office finally published an announcement that, quote, children clearly did not come within the classification of harmless live animals which do not require food or water while in transit. That was the regulations.
Right.
And they're like, children don't fall into this category, which was then effectively a ban on the practice. So Snopes, did a good review of this story, and it finishes with this take by the Smithsonian. However, the services might have been misinterpreted during this era, aka cheating a little bit.
Right.
These stories point out that mail service was particularly important during a time when travel was difficult and cost prohibitive for many Americans. But perhaps more interestingly, they indicate that the mail carrier was considered a crucial part of communities, a touchstone with family and friends far away from each other, a bearer of important news and goods. In some ways, Americans trusted their postmen with their lives, and in the cases above, with their babies.
That is quite insane, actually.
Yeah.
But I
just handing them over and being we trust the posties.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Yeah, they fully were postmen or the postal service was such an integral part of what it meant to be American.
Yeah.
And so these posties were just
thousands of miles
take
away,
them.
or hundreds of miles away.
I think one of them was 73 miles.
70, but still, even 10 miles would be amazing. Yeah.
I read one story, a 7-year-old girl walked into the post office and asked to be mailed to her grandma's house. Like a kid walked in herself and was
right.
please mail me.
I can't take it anymore. My parents are intolerable.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. I was I love the idea. What kind of child is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm running away from home straight to the post office.
I don't know. I mean, obviously that's not safe.
Right.
It's not safe. It's not safe. It's good it doesn't happen anymore. But I also kind of like that idea, though. I like the idea of just like, well, what's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. Which was the vibe back then.
Yeah,
like,
what's the
so
worst?
trusting.
Like their idea of what the worst that could happen was clearly not that bad.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they did buy the first story, they bought insurance for the kid. But it's like, can you imagine? Like, you insure for $50, or him, baby James. Baby James insured for $50, and it's like, we lost the baby, but here's some $50.
Yeah, no, you get a thing where a guy shows up to your door, like, sorry, the package was damaged en route.
Yeah.
Please accept this $50.
And they're like, where's the package? Oh, damaged packages just get thrown out.
They go to the incinerator.
Yeah. But $50.
$50, please sign here.
Yeah. Not only do you not have to look after a baby anymore.
Bonus.
But you also get $50.
You go out on the town.
Yeah.
You go to the Sheraton, have some drinks.
Woo! Just be rude to the waiters.
Be rude to the waiters.
Because you're rich now.
Because working class people suck. They're meant for our amusement.
They are pawns in this great game of life that is the middle class experience.
Rough. It's so rough.
Yeah.
It's so rough. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's that one.
That's
That's
it. All right.
Do you have anything of the same nature?
About things that used to be legal?
Yeah. Have you read
I went a
anything?
slightly different route.
Oh.
I had some questions, right? Is it illegal? This is a genuine question.
Yeah.
Is it illegal to fail to report a crime?
Does that make you an accessory?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
if
that's
you...
the question, right?
Yeah.
If you see someone, I guess
that's
it's
what
different
counts as an
gradation.
accessory. Yeah, true.
And
I mean, if you see someone murder someone in your house,
yeah, that's a great example. So you
have to report that.
You have to report it, right?
Yeah.
It would be illegal for you not to report it.
Yeah, but if you're like walking along the street and someone's getting beaten up in an alley, I don't think you have to report that.
I don't know. Ethically, what do you think?
I think you don't have to do that one.
Ethically, really?
Oh, ethically, yeah, you have to. You should.
You should, right?
Yeah,
Like, why
because
wouldn't
also,
you?
even if you see something you're like, not sure if it's a crime, maybe it's cool, better just to call it in anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you see someone getting beaten up in an alleyway,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you report that?
Yeah. Maybe you just like, it's not my business. Maybe they're friends.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. So that was the thing, the sort of train of thought I had.
Okay.
And then I found out about this study called the bystander effect experiment. But then there's also the question is, should that experiment be illegal? Because I'll tell you about the experiment.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different little layers here. None of them quite addressing the task that we set ourselves last week.
That's fine.
Yeah. But
Creativity is our
in the
middle name.
Same realm. Okay, the word legal is going to show up a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm covered. Yeah, so some psychological experiments that were designed to test the bystander effect are considered unethical by today's standards. What is the bystander effect?
Is it the fact that people tend to, like, if you see something wrong happening, if, like, no one else is doing anything, no one ever wants to be the first person to get involved.
Exactly, yeah.
No one ever wants to be the whistleblower or to cause a ripple. So some bad shit could be happening and, like, 20 people are there watching it, but it's still the bad stuff happens.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Good job.
Thanks.
Amazing.
Any more definitions? Because that's it. That's all I know.
So good. Well, I didn't know that. I do now, though. Okay. So, yeah, so people were interested in this in, like, the 50s and 60s.
A lot of psychological experiments back then. Wasn't this around the same time as, like, the Stanford prison experiment? That was 70s?
Yep, yeah. I think, well, that's the thing, right? Like, I think it was a little bit Wild West-y.
Okay.
Like, people could just be like, so here's my experiment. I'm going to lock a bunch of kids in a room and yell at them.
See what happens.
See what happens. Okay, sounds good.
Did you guys do a risk assessment? We don't have those yet. Not for another 40 years.
Those haven't been invented yet.
Yeah.
Well, then have at it, yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to hose them down with, like, toxic chemicals while shouting, like, racial epithets at them.
And I'll just see if they grow up fucked up or
we'll
not.
see. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So anyway, as I was saying.
Yeah, bystander effect.
Let's see if I can get back into this. Right. So the bystander thing.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Bystander effect.
Bystander effect. Thank you. Where did I start? Oh yeah, I started by thinking like, what? Yeah. All right. Ugh, Jesus. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good. Are you...
Watch me soar.
Spread those wings, Brian. You can do it. Jump right off the roof. Jump off, Brian. Take the net away, Horace. You don't need no net. He's soaring.
Believe in yourself.
Hey, Brian, what's a bird? Not now. I'm off the clock.
Yeah, next week. God damn it.
All right. Here's something that you might find interesting. I think we're finding out what happens when I drink a little bit more than you.
Finally.
God damn it. Ugh, what the fuck? All right, so... God damn it.
Oh, amazing.
Look, man, okay, so the bystander effect thing, these two people, they developed an interest in this by crime witnesses who didn't take any action. It was a famous case. Here we are. They were intrigued by the murder of Kitty Genovese. Have you ever heard of her?
Nope.
Okay. You're about to. In painful, excruciating detail.
God.
Yeah, she's a young woman whose murder was witnessed by like 38 people. And nobody did anything. Yeah.
Was she just murdered by her boyfriend or something?
Well, here's the case. The Genovese case. 1964, she was a bartender. She left the bar where she worked late at night, 2:30 a.m. She was driving home in her car.
Ew, so she was supposed to be safe.
Yeah, so she's waiting for the light to change. This dude, Winston Mosley.
Random dude.
Remember that name?
Unknown
dude,
to
actually.
her. Whoa.
He was sitting in his parked car, spotted her.
Yeah.
So she drove home, parked her car at the railroad station. Oh, just a parking lot by her house. It was in an alleyway. So then she got out of her car. She walked into her house. Mosley got out of his car, armed with a hunting knife.
Ooh.
Yeah. He approached her. She freaked out.
Outside her house.
Yeah, or in the alley. So she started running toward the front of her building. He ran after her, overtook her, stabbed her twice in the back. So she's screaming at that point, "Oh my God, he stabbed me, help me."
I noticed something. Everyone looked out the window.
Everybody looked out the window. Not everybody did anything. In fact, not very many people did anything at all. One guy did say, "Leave her alone."
That's good of him.
That was nice of him. Here's some of the other explanations later. So after the fact, witnesses said, "We thought it was a lover's quarrel."
Oh my God.
Right?
This is classic, that era of don't get involved.
Yes. That's true, actually. Frankly, we were afraid. Okay, understandable.
Yeah, to be fair,
except
it's got a massive
you're
sword.
you're on the fourth floor looking down at this.
Throw the knife through the window.
We were terrified. I was tired, which you had a long day.
It's you don't understand, the photocopying machine broke again.
And now I gotta fucking deal with this murder in my alley.
No.
Fuck.
I put my headphones in and I rolled over.
Listening to Eminem because I'm young.
Amazing they had Eminem in the 60s.
Oh, he goes back quite a ways.
Huh.
What was his father?
Oh.
Do you want to know what his father's name was?
What was it? O&O?
K&K?
KK?
L&M?
KLM?
What comes before him? KLM? No, P.
H-I-J-K.
H-I-J-K-L-L-L-L-L-L. God, we're good. We are fucking good, man.
Oh shit. Okay.
Are you gonna make
Top
it?
of our head.
You're not.
I'm working on it. Tequila is gonna help me, right?
Jesus.
We have to do drugs next week.
Maybe.
It's fine.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm fine.
All right. You're fucking crapping out on me, man. This is our job now. All right.
I know.
You're getting paid by the hour.
I know. I feel like you can't get drunk so fast this week.
You
Joe,
shouldn't.
'cause Stay professional.
Stay
I'm
professional.
sipping slowly.
You want some coffee? Would that help you? Actually?
Do you have coffee?
Yeah, I can make coffee.
No.
You don't want? Why don't you want coffee? Because you think it's going to
Because
put
then
me
I
out?
won't sleep.
Oh, you want to sleep? Okay. You want some coffee? You want some meth? I mean, I got meth. I can make it. There's an entire factory back there. They've got pipes and
You
tubes
want
and
some
shit.
fucking ecstasy?
Let's do it, man.
You'll be high all night, and you're going to be at the bank at 9 a.m. But it's a good combo.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, she's just getting stabbed. Nobody did anything. But here's the deal. She ran away. Oh, he ran away. She slowly made her way toward the rear entrance of the building, seriously injured and out of view. So she's, so you're thinking at this point, all right, well, he's gone now. Mm. She's not dead. Then what happened is the dude drove away and he returned 10 minutes later. Ugh. And this time he
and she's still there.
Well, she'd crawled a bit away, and so he started looking around for her. Ugh. Then he finally found her.
All she'd done was drive home. Oh,
that's right, yeah. So she's barely conscious at this point. She tried to get into the building. There was a locked door. She couldn't get in. So then he stabbed her a bunch more times before raping her, stealing $49.
Worth it.
And running away.
Ugh.
So the whole thing took about an hour.
And no one did anything. No one came to get her.
Apparently not. Ugh. There were eventually calls to the police, but it's all sort of vague. Just as a side note, so the guy was caught, but then he escaped.
Jeez.
Yeah, he escaped, and he ended up. He fled to a nearby vacant house. Took this couple hostage, raped the wife.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's a bad dude.
What happened to him?
Took their car, fled again, kidnapped another person. Anyway, eventually the asshole is caught.
Yeah, at some point you're like, cops, what are you doing?
Yeah, but then he's got some choice little statements though, later on. So now he's caught. He's sentenced to life/death. So he's now there, but he's got these little choice statements. He said, for a victim outside, it's a one-time or 1 hour or 1 minute affair, but for the person who's caught, it's forever.
Oh, the poor guy.
Yeah, so he's trying to get some sympathy. He's a piece of shit.
He's a monster.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he said another time he said that he didn't intend to kill her. He considered it mugging because people do kill people when they mug them sometimes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and rape them.
Yeah, that was right, exactly. Anyway, he got denied parole a bunch of times, and then he died in prison.
All right.
81 years old.
R.I.P.
Served there for 52 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the case that got these people interested in this bystander effect psychological experiment, right? So here's some examples of how they did the experiment. So these two people thought of a social psychology experiment that was similar in some respects to what took place during the murder of Kitty Genovese. Mm-hmm. So they recruited some university students, told them that they're participating in a discussion about personal problems. Okay, mm-hmm. So each participant will be talking to other participants, a varying number, in a discussion group, but each of the participants is in a separate room. Okay. You understand?
So 2 people to a room?
Nope. So you have your own room.
Okay.
And you're a volunteer. And you're like, okay, there's a bunch of other people in different rooms. You're all going to be like connected with earphones or microphones, and you'll be talking about personal problems. Okay, that's the experiment they think they're taking part in.
Okay.
Right. So it's set up like that. So the conversation will take place over microphones and speakers. So the participants won't be able to physically see the other people.
Okay.
Okay. So the topic of the conversations would revolve around their college lives. So each participant is given 2 minutes to speak when it's their turn.
Mm-hmm.
All the microphones of the other people are turned off.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like your turn, and you're like, oh, I just started college, I miss my family, blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah. I'm dealing with this problem with my boyfriend.
Yeah. He likes Eminem, but I'm more into K&L.
K&L. I'm more of a K&L gal.
And we're just not syncing up right.
Is it a deal breaker?
Yeah, so you guys, so that's the idea, right? So then, but then everybody else's mic is off.
Okay.
Okay. So, but here's the twist. Would you like to know what the twist is?
I'd love to.
Okay. So the subject is unaware that all the voices he's hearing are pre-recorded.
Oh, this is so creepy.
So the number of voices we'll be talking to depends on the treatment condition that he's. I don't know what that means. Oh, right. Sorry. There's different things. So first is solo, one-on-one, and the last is a group of 6, right? So anyway, the point being that like you're the subject, they're doing the experiment on you, unbeknownst to you.
Okay.
You think you're taking part in this with a bunch of other people. They've set it up so you're not going to get suspicious.
Yeah, so you don't know, you can't see.
You can't see.
No other people.
They've told you that when someone's talking, all the other microphones are off.
Yeah.
So you're not going to hear anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But what's actually happening is that you're sitting there and they're playing these pre-recorded things. You don't know that, right? Okay, so then what happens is the first voice confesses to the group that he's prone to seizures, and it could be life-threatening. So they go around. There's more.
So they know about it now. Okay, yeah.
And then there's another round, and now that first pre-recorded voice, it's his turn again, and he starts saying, "I'm having a fit. Do you want to do this? Actually, can you read this?
The script?
Yeah, you're really good at that. Just
I listened to myself, and I didn't sound that good. But
No.
Okay.
From just the quote.
Oh God.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
You're so good at this. She's so good at this.
I can't. Okay.
Keep in mind, it's you're having a seizure.
And it's a dude, apparently.
No, it doesn't have to be a dude. Do it as a dude, though.
Oh. Do you warm up to a dude voice, and all I'm doing is I'm having a fit. I think help me. I can't. Oh my God! Can someone just help me out here? I can't breathe properly. I'm feeling I'm going to die if.
Oh, thank you.
Just a first run at it.
Cue the applause.
I didn't have time to. Thank you.
That's very good.
Was it a boy?
It was a boy.
Mm.
It was a boy.
It's a boy.
Congratulations. All right, so that's so good. The real subject can only hear the event, and he cannot see the actual participants.
Yeah.
The actual response that the experimenters will be measuring during this event is the time it will take for the subject to stand up, leave the room, look for the experimenters, and ask for help.
Okay.
That's what they're waiting for.
Dear.
Yeah. So, the results, only 31% of the subjects ever did that. Most of the subjects didn't bother to look for the experimenters to help the suffering participant.
Jesus Christ.
Most of them are obviously anxious, but the reaction wasn't there.
Yeah, they didn't take action.
Yeah, so you're just like, what? I don't
bode
get it.
well for
I don't
the rest
get
of it,
it,
does
man.
it?
I don't.
Do you
get
feel
it.
like you'd be the kind of person to get up and get help?
Of fucking course. I'm sorry.
I'm not a monster.
I'm a fucking I think
yeah,
so.
it's crazy.
Right?
I mean, it's crazy.
So, in a one-on-one conversation, however, some hope, 85% of this, it's still very low.
Yeah.
Low. So you know what I mean, right? So it's just like, so now the experiment is like, you're just going to be talking to this dude. And he's going to tell you about college life. You're going to talk about your thing. He starts, and it's like, just so you know, I'm prone to seizures.
Yeah.
And then you're like, my boyfriend likes Eminem. I like K&L. And then he's like, oh my God, help me, I'm having a seizure. In that situation...
It's quite clear what's going on.
Oh, you didn't need that explanation?
No, I mean, like, if you're in the... Sorry, no, I mean to the person. It's quite clear, Brian. Shut the fuck up. No, I mean, if you're that person...
Right.
Who's, like, sitting there with the headphones on. You can't be like, I don't know what's happening.
Right. Someone else will be here.
Someone has just said...
But still only 85%. That means there's 15% of the time. What are those people doing?
Yeah, waiting.
Is it my turn yet? That reminds me of the time my pet rabbit had a seizure. It bought it for me my first day of college.
Is this thing on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, so it's astonishing.
And disturbing.
And very disturbing. But definitely, like, the bigger the group, the fewer reactions. All is not totally bleak, I suppose. You know, there's lots of reasons. People are afraid. People think that maybe they're going to fuck up.
Yeah, they don't want to get involved.
You know, you're thinking maybe somebody else has...
Someone else is better.
Somebody else knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah.
But how does this relate to the topic of the week, you ask? I hear you asking.
I do wonder that.
Yeah.
When we discuss topics, this is not at all what I thought was happening.
Well...
it's the nature of the experiment itself?
Yeah, should something like that be illegal?
No.
You don't think so?
Do a test like that?
Well, you're lying to the people. You're lying to people.
All tests are like, in one way or another, you're trying to test like what people are like in their most natural state. Like, you couldn't tell them that this is going to be a test to see how fast you react to an adverse situation, because then everyone's being primed and they'll just...
Yeah, but I think that I don't know how it works. I think you're obligated nowadays to tell. I don't think that you can deceive people like that.
Yeah. Oh, like when you did the experiment?
I don't think that you can do that. I think you just have to like somehow like think around that problem now. Like you can't lie to them. I don't think.
Well, did they lie?
They absolutely lied.
But what?
Hey, Brian, what's a lie?
Brian, what's truth? Brian, what's God?
It's a bunch of lettuce and then some other vegetables with a dressing. Next.
Brian. I love it. I'm going to talk to you about a little something called, so classic, lysergic acid diethylamide.
LSD.
Correct. LSD used to be legal.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, you didn't know this. Great. I got hiccups just in time. It's awesome.
Yeah, perfect.
LSD was first synthesized by Swiss chemist Dr. Albert Hofmann in 1938, although he didn't realize its full potential until 5 years later when he accidentally ingested the substance.
Just checking if your feet are
they're
in there.
still using it. So he didn't realize what it did until he accidentally ingested it. Can you imagine accidentally taking LSD?
That would be weird.
Between then, 1938, and the mid-1960s, LSD was a legal drug and remains the most powerful psychotropic substance ever known. Whoa. Amazing.
Trip out.
Before 1962, LSD was a little-known drug available only on a small scale and was used by relatively few people. All of the LSD available in the US and Canada was produced by Sandoz Laboratories and legally distributed to psychiatrists, psychologists, and others who certified their qualifications to use it. Each LSD container was labeled as required by FDA regulations. Caution, ... new drug limited by federal law to investigational use. So you could get it, but you had to be like on a trial or whatever.
Right.
In 1962, So everything's fine, cruising along, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then something else happens over here, which then actually inevitably affects LSD and probably social attitudes to drugs for a very long time.
Right.
It was 1962, and a new tranquilizing drug, Talamide. I even looked this up.
Yeah?
Talamide? Let's say it's thalamide.
Mm-hmm.
Was distributed for testing under the FDA's IND, Investigative New Drug section, to protect American. It was distributed to American physicians and reached hundreds of pregnant women as a mild sleeping pill. In other countries, it was distributed on a far larger scale.
How is it related to LSD?
You'll see.
Okay.
So a worldwide epidemic followed of deformed babies.
Yes.
In Germany, some 10,000 babies
That was not like an endorsement of that, by the way. Yes.
Great.
Deformed babies.
It was a worldwide epidemic. In Germany, some 10,000 babies were born affected by thalidomide, and fewer than 3,000 of them are alive today.
Damn.
In Germany, very effective way to kill people. Thalidomide.
I think if you just pronounce it differently every time, you're bound to hit on the right one.
I do that all the time. I do that last episode as well. Before the thalidomide scandal. New drugs weren't... So before all of this, new drugs weren't typically treated with suspicion, but instead were regarded as probably a good thing. Now, the FDA was forced to tighten its regulations, and Sandoz Laboratories, the only lab that had the rights to LSD, followed up by restricting supply.
Okay.
All this did, however, was make it even more popular, of course. So this led in an increase of the availability of the drug, with LSD being only moderately difficult to synthesize in a product chemistry lab.
Are you okay?
No. Don't look at me.
You are struggling.
I'm so tired. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, it's all right. We will wrap it up.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
and with LSD, so I just like... When I did this on Sunday, I was like, I'm ahead of time. I've got my
But then you have all the other shit going on. It's all right.
Of course, this led to an increase in the availability of the drug, with LSD being only moderately difficult to synthesize in a modest chemistry laboratory, and the formula can be secured from the US Patent Office for 50 cents. I even looked it up online, and it's free now. They have copies.
Is that right? Really?
You can find the LSD recipe. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's not even add the something to the something. It's 100% chemistry jargon.
Right, yeah, sure.
But
you can do it.
Smart people can make it.
Yep.
The black market exploded. And
Brian.
Brian!
How do you make LSD?
How to make it. And by 1970, it was estimated that between 1 and 2 million Americans had taken an LSD trip. At the same time, public sentiment had totally turned against the drug. Medical authorities contributed to the inflation of publicity with exaggerated and unsubstantiated reports of LSD's effects, such as it rotted the mind and destroyed motivation. The chairman of New Jersey Narcotic Drug Study Commission in 1966 called LSD, quote, the greatest threat facing the country today, more dangerous than the Vietnam War.
Jesus.
There's also a story going around.
Fuck is this?
I see Paul. Oh my God. Should we just take a photo of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also a story going around of a 5-year-old girl who swallowed an LSD sugar cube left by her in the fridge by her uncle, and that of an ex-mental patient who killed his mother-in-law, and he was allegedly flying on LSD at the time.
Right.
So that was dubbed an LSD murder, even though at the trial they discussed how he was affected by chronic paranoid schizophrenia. But for sure it was the LSD is what they're trying to make you think.
Right.
Finally, lawmaker Donald Grunsky introduced a bill prohibiting the possession, manufacture, sale, or importation of the bill, and political pressure from the public and Ronald Reagan meant the Grunsky bill became law in 1966. The rest, as they say, Brian, is history. For his merit, the scientist that invented it, he took LSD hundreds of times throughout his life.
Abby Hoffman.
Yep, Hoffman, and only recently died in 2008, aged 102 years old.
Was he really that old? Shit.
So he loved LSD, and he lived a really long time.
Joe, what's your sugar fact for today?
Oh, well, let me tell you. Both brown... I've got a long one. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Can you get through it? I'm fine.
Both white sugar and brown sugar are similar, nutritionally and also calorie-wise. The only difference lies in the flavor, color, and the process these both go through. It actually seems like quite a few things that they're different in. But anyway, basically, brown sugar is white sugar with molasses and is considered as raw sugar majorly because it goes through lesser chemical processing as compared to white sugar. I don't know why I thought this would be interesting. Brown sugar contains...
this is when I wish we had a video because then people would see how rapt my attention is right now. I am literally on the edge.
I think because in the past I've done sugar facts and you've been like, that's it? Like it was 2 sentences. So this time I was like, I'll get a longer one, and I just felt like a fucking science one. Brown sugar contains 95% sucrose and 5% molasses, which adds a flavor and moistness, but has no great nutritional benefits over white sugar. So brown sugar has equal health risk factors to white sugar.
Oh, well, take that.
That's where that was going.
You fucking hippies.
Take that, hippies.
That's it?
Yep.
I don't mean that's it like that's it. I mean that's it like I wish there was more. I wish there was more. Okay, well, it's great. I mean, you know what? What are we going to do with all this sugar knowledge?
I mean, apart from write a best-selling coffee table book.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was thinking. Well, my sugar fact is equally fascinating. The earliest references to sugar come from the 8th century BC. Before sugar.
Oh, is that what that stands for?
Before sugar.
Before sugar.
They used to spell it with a C. Chinese manuscripts stating that sugar came from India. Who
Interesting.
knew? Yep. The first record of sugar being cultivated comes from India. Indeed, does come from India. In about the year 500 AD. After.
Wait, didn't you just say the first record of sugar comes like in the before sugar?
The earliest references.
And then what was the India one? What happened
being
in
cultivated.
AD? Oh.
So in the 8th century before sugar, Chinese manuscripts said, check it out.
We've got sugar.
Sugar.
Before sugar, we got sugar.
Before sugar. Oh, but now we're going to have to... You know, it's interesting because
have to do a rap.
It took 800 years after they apparently discovered sugar to change their dating system.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
It's like they kind of didn't realize it was going to be that big of a deal.
It took 800 years.
800 years later,
and then they were like...
Guys, it's kind of big now. Should we, like, reset the clock?
It's no longer before sugar.
Yeah.
Let's call it after...
Dining.
Exactly. So 500 after dining, the first references to sugar being cultivated in India. At that time, sugar cane was pressed and processed, and the syrup boiled down until it crystallized. This khanda, as it was called, was easy to transport and trade, both to China and the Middle East. As you might guess, the word khanda gradually evolved into...
Cunt.
Exactly.
Marijuana.
Nope.
Kandahoy.
Nope. Think about it. It's not that obvious.
Mikanda.
Think about sugar.
Something to do with sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar cane? Cane?
Nope. Good guess. Good
Cane.
guess.
Sugar cane? Cane.
Kanda.
Cane.
I know that you said it was wrong 3 times in a row. I'm going to try again.
This is what it's like to play Pictionary with me. Like, chair,
Right.
chair. You sure it's not a chair?
Not a fucking chair, Joe.
Still not a
Not
chair.
a fucking chair. Chair? Kanda.
I don't know.
No, yeah, fine. Candy.
Is it obvious? Oh, yep. They invented that in India?
Oh, yeah?
Wow.
Yeah, crystallized sugarcane pulp and
That was their like
stuff.
early payback against America.
Yep.
Early
Sure.
Early payback against Western powers. I'm trying to make it colonial.
Well, because we're going to do a cliffhanger this week.
Mm. Well, thanks for listening.
Episode 7.
Sorry that I got really drunk again.
Not that drunk.
Okay.
She miraculously sobered up when...
I don't even think, because I think it wasn't drunk, it was just tired.
Yeah, you're pretty tired.
So now it's less tired.
Well, you're awake now with the prospect of 2 more dogs
It's the adrenaline.
in your life.
I'm just chasing highs.
Oh my god.
We started off the episode today with you being like, one day we'll look back on this and remember when you only had 3 dogs.
And literally what's happened now, we haven't even got to the end of the episode and she has 5 dogs. Because 2 dogs apparently have been dropped off in the time since the last 3 dogs.
Nice.
Technically, well, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Where can they find us, Joe?
Well, you can find us on Instagram now.
Yep. That's a real thing.
And Spotify.
Yep,
and
that's real
where
too.
else, Brian?
Other than Spotify and Facegram?
Correct. In addition to those.
In addition to
channels?
Facegram and Spotify, you can find us on...
Yeah. And
That's it.
That's it. No,
That's
we
it.
haven't-
Yeah. Wasn't there one called
Yeah.
Barrelland?
I'm working on Barrelland.
Oh, you haven't?
I'm working on
I
it.
thought you were going to contact them.
I'm working on it.
Okay, Barrelland and Jumpy.
Catchy.
Jumpy's new.
Jumpy is...
You might not know this.
I actually barely know.
You
about
might not know Jumpy. Jumpy's the new one. Jumpy's for your up and comers. Jumpy's for like people who were like tired of face snatch and time share. Stay tuned next week when Joe and I talk about